I should have told Harvey the truth right from the start. Do you think I killed Rita Black?
No. No, but I have a pretty shrewd idea that you knew her. That she was, in fact, a friend of yours. Look, Mitch, tell me what happened.
Well, I first met Rita at a restaurant called the Santa Cristina. She told me that she was a model, that her name was Carstairs, and that she was married to a man who was a permanent invalid. After we'd known each other a little time, she borrowed £1,500 from me. 2 weeks later, she paid me back. Well, the $1,500 was a trick, you see, the old confidence trick. I must confess it did cross my mind at the time, but I chose not to believe it. 3 weeks later, she borrowed £7,000. And shortly after that, I found out that her real name was Black, that she was unmarried, and that she was, to say the least, a pretty expensive customer. I didn't want to believe it at first. I didn't want to believe it because...
It hurts the old pride. Yes, I know.
Yes, exactly. I was furious, not only with Rita, but with myself. I wrote her a letter. A pretty threatening letter, I'm afraid, demanding the immediate repayment of the £7,000. She didn't reply, so I telephoned her. She asked me if we could meet and talk things over. Like a damn fool, I agreed, so we arranged to meet in Market Cross on the night of September the 3rd, and that was the night that she was murdered.
Yes. Yes, I know. Did you go to Market Cross? Did you meet her?
No. No, I intended to. I actually got the car out and drove as far as Brentwood. And I changed my mind.
Why?
I decided to forget the whole business. I thought, all right, she's made a sucker out of me, so what the hell? I'll just chalk it up to experience. I drove back to London, parked the car, and went to a cinema. Unfortunately, as far as I know, no one saw me. The next day, I read about the murder in the paper.
And is that the truth, Mitch?
Yes, it is. It's the whole truth, Horace.
Then I don't think you've got anything to worry about.
Yes, I have a great deal to worry about. Rita's sister, Isabel Black. Like a damn fool, I visited her. We had what amounted to an argument, and during the argument,
well, I don't think you need to worry about Isabel Black.
What?
Well, she's not dead.
Not dead?
No. Just a bruise, that's all.
Yeah, but...
She didn't even go to hospital. She's up north visiting some friends of hers. See, Harvey lied to you. He was determined to get at the truth, Mitch. Even if it meant scaring the living daylights out of you. If he only told you the truth in the first place, it would save you a great deal of unnecessary work and himself a great deal of unnecessary worry.
Yeah, that's true, Doctor, but I didn't suspect Douglas because I thought he was lying. A liar isn't necessarily a murderer.
Well, then why did you suspect him?
Oh, because at one point there seemed to be a clear indication that he had killed Rita.
Well, then why didn't you arrest him?
Well, luckily for Douglas, and for me too, as it happens, there was a doubt, just a tiny doubt in the back of my mind.
Superintendent, are you prepared to take me into your confidence and tell me what all this is about?
All right. Rita worked for a blackmailer. Let's call this person...
Oh, I see. Leslie.
Okay, Leslie. Now, Leslie had to get rid of Rita and conceived the idea of strangling her, throwing suspicion onto Scott Douglas, and then blackmailing him. Rita, needless to say, hadn't any idea what Leslie was up to. She knew of the plan, of course, but she assumed the victim was to be someone else. Never occurred to her
that she was helping Leslie to plan her own murder.
Exactly. Anyway, the plan was eventually put into operation. Under the direction of Leslie, Rita bought this pair of gloves, exactly like the ones worn by your friend Mitch. She made it perfectly clear when she was buying them that they were to be a present for a wealthy friend of hers. And the telegram sent by Leslie, of course, confirmed the impression that Scott Douglas was the friend in question. Later, Douglas's own gloves were stolen and, I imagine, destroyed.
So these gloves which Rita bought were the ones
with which she was strangled, yes. It was imperative, of course, that the gloves should eventually be brought to our attention and that Douglas be identified as the person who met Rita Black on the night of the murder.
Yes, but surely it was Miss Royce who identified Mitch. It was Becky who said she saw him.
That's right, Doctor. It was Becky Royce. Mr. Clifford.
Oh, hello.
Mr. Galbraith around?
Yes, I've just left him.
Don't tell me you're thinking of taking out this tantalising game.
Right now, I'm thinking of putting my head in a gas oven.
What's the problem?
Freddie is a client of mine. I look after his VAT, among other things, and he's about as businesslike as
Isabel Black?
Exactly. My goodness, that's saying something. Oh, incidentally, I've been trying to get in touch with Isabel. There's no reply. I've telephoned, I've written, I've been round there.
Miss Black's away. She'll be back at the end of the week.
I didn't know that. She never told me she was going away. That's most unlike Isabel.
Don't worry, you'll be hearing from her. She'll be exercising her very special brand of charm on you again before long.
Must be joking.
Hello, Superintendent.
Morning. Could you spare me a minute, sir?
Yes, of course. Come up and have a drink.
Oh, thank you. You heard about Miss Royce, I take it? The car incident?
Yes, of course. Who hasn't? A bomb, for God's sake. It's unbelievable. Well, I didn't believe it at first. I rang Becky as soon as I heard about it, but Giles Stafford told me she was too upset to talk to anyone.
The bomb went off at approximately 1:45. As I understand it, Miss Royce called round here to see you earlier in the day.
Yes, that's right. In the morning, about 11 o'clock.
How long was she with you?
About 20 minutes. I managed to fix her up with a second-hand set of clubs for her nephew.
She left her car in the car park.
Oh, yes, I imagine so.
Did you see anyone else during the morning?
Yes, several people. I was quite busy.
And did you yourself have occasion to visit the car park during the morning?
No, I don't think so. Oh, yes, I did. Sorry, I was forgetting. I had a spot of bother with one of my windscreen wipers, and I had to fix it.
What time would that be?
Oh, dear. 11:30, I suppose. What'll you have?
Oh, I'll just have a scotch, thanks.
Shaken, not stirred. Sorry. Have a seat. Scotch and gin and tonic, Brian.
How long did it take you?
What do you mean?
Well, how long did it take you to fix the windscreen wiper?
Oh, I see. 10 minutes, I suppose? No, maybe a bit longer. Quarter of an hour, perhaps.
Was anyone else in the car park while you were working on your car?
Don't remember seeing anyone.
Didn't see Archie Wright by any chance?
No, I didn't. But then I'd already seen Archie. He called into the shop a few minutes before Miss Rice arrived.
What do you want to see you about? If I remember correctly, you told me you don't like him.
I don't like him. But the caddy master's in difficulties. He needs extra people, especially weekends. I said I'd have a word with Archie, see if he could help out. He used to be quite a good caddy in his younger days.
Really? Oh, thanks.
Superintendent, why on earth should anyone want to kill Becky Rice, of all people?
Ah, well. It's my opinion that the person who planted the bomb didn't intend to kill her. They just wanted to frighten the life out of her. Excuse me.
We just had a message from Scott Douglas, sir. He wants to see you. It's urgent.
Thank you, Mr. Galbraith. Right. Well, what's happened?
A woman telephoned me
When?
last night, soon after the doctor left. She said she was a friend of Joe Hathaway's.
Yeah, go on.
She said she could get the letter for me for £100,000 in cash.
What did you say?
I said it was a deal.
Good.
Yeah, she's calling me again tomorrow morning, sometime after 11.
Right, get the money from the bank this afternoon or early tomorrow.
I've already taken care of that.
You know what to do. Just play it straight, take the letter, simply hand over the money.
And what then?
And then you fade out of the picture, Mr. Douglas. You leave the rest to me. That's an order, you understand?
Yes, I understand. I'm just not very good at taking orders, that's all.
Yeah, well, this is one you've got to take.
Superintendent, if someone had tried to blackmail you, if someone had made you look like a murderer, would you be prepared to fade out of the picture without first knowing who that person was?
Don't worry, sir. We'll keep you posted.
I believe you're expecting me.
Come in. Before you say anything, I want proof that you have my letter.
Here's the other cassette. It's a duplicate of the one Joe Hathaway gave you. And here is the envelope that your letter was in. Are you satisfied?
Well, that's the envelope. It's my handwriting. Where's the letter? Oh, yes. What are you getting out of this? He's blackmailing you too, isn't he? We're both in the same leaky lifeboat, aren't we, Miss Royce?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What is it, a letter? Forged check? Hope it's not a pornographic picture.
It's none of your goddamn business.
She's all yours.
Thanks.
Hello, Becky Royce's agency. Hello? Hello? We've had the Lockwood Paint organisation on the telephone 3 times this morning. They're going crazy. Apparently the 2 girls we recommended turned out to be colourblind.
Oh, all right, Iris. I'll deal with all that later.
And Mr. Brockenhurst telephoned again. Badly wants a new secretary. One that can very quickly adjust
To Mr. Brockenhurst, yes, I know. Iris, would you mind leaving me? I've got a lot on my mind. I'll deal with all this bump later.
It's all right, Miss Royce. You had any lunch?
No, and I don't want any. You can bring me a cup of coffee in about 10 minutes. Were there any other calls?
Oh, somebody tried to get you on your private line just now. They're in a coin box. They rang off.
Fine, thank you, Iris. Hello?
Did you get the money?
Yes.
All right. 100,000.
Yes.
No problem.
No.
Were you followed?
Followed? No, I don't think so. It didn't occur to me that I would be.
It should have occurred to you. Now listen to me.
I am listening. What the hell do you think I'm doing?
I think it might be a good idea if we don't see each other for the next 48 hours at any rate. In fact, don't come near my place till you hear from me.
Well, what about the money?
Stay with it. Keep it in the office for the time being.
I don't like doing that.
Ask when you as I said.
Look, £100,000 is a lot of money to have in the office.
Don't worry. I'll relieve you of it soon enough. We'll meet in 2 or 3 days' time. Now remember what I said. Don't contact me unless it's urgent. On phone.
Who the devil was that, sir?
I don't know. What do you think, Simon?
I could be wrong, sir. Very wrong. But it sounded to me like Ernest Clifford.
Clifford?
Yes. There was just something about the voice that reminded me of him.
That's interesting. Right, I want a list of every single visit to the Becky Royce agency during the next 48 hours. Also, I want every phone call monitored.
Excuse me, sir. Mr. Stafford's arrived. He's in the office.
Right. I don't want this guy to see you. Can you hide in the canteen for a bit?
Yes, sir. Were you expecting Stafford, sir?
Yes, I was, but he's early. He wasn't due till past. I think it might be better if I see him on my own. There's something I want to ask him, and I'd like him to feel our conversation was off the record.
Will it be off the record, sir?
Well, that rather depends on his answer. All right, thank you, Mason. Good of you to drop in, Mr. Stafford. I hope it hasn't inconvenienced you.
No, not at all. I'm taking the day off anyway. Archie Wright and I are off to a sale. Any case, I wanted to have a word with you.
Right, well, come in. Sit down. What was it you wanted to have a word with me about?
I have a theory, Superintendent, about the bomb in Becky's car. You'll probably think I'm crazy.
No, I don't think you're crazy. Sergeant Holliday discussed your theory with me. I'm rather inclined to go along with it.
You mean you agree with me? You think it was merely intended to scare the living daylights out of her?
That's right.
Then whoever planted it must know Becky pretty well. They certainly know her movements.
Yes, I go along with that, too.
Who the hell is it? Who is this bastard?
Well, I think it's the person we're already looking for, the person who murdered Rita Black.
We're going to Ballet, Gov. Sale starts at 12 o'clock.
We're not going to the sale. We're going back to the house.
Becky Royce?
Hello, Becky. How are you?
What do you want?
I want the money.
I'm relieved to hear it. It's here waiting for you. Come over and get it.
No, that's not on. I don't want to do that.
What do you want to do, then?
I want you to bring it to me. The usual place.
All right. I'll be there.
Thank you, Mr. Clifford. You did splendidly.
Was that all right?
It was brilliant. I'm very grateful to you.
I don't think I've got the vowel sounds.
No, you were very good. And please, remember, it's vitally important that no one else should know about this.
Oh, no, of course not. But I still don't know what the devil's going on.
You will, eventually. Thank you again, sir.
I want you to bring it to me. The usual place.
Right, you know what to do. As soon as you're 100% certain where Becky Royce is heading for, I want you to pick her up, bring her straight back here. I'll be here waiting for you.
Right, you are, sir.
Have you any idea where she'll be making for, sir?
Yes, I have.
This is Alpha 3-1.
Just get in.
Here you are. And I hope to God I never see you again.
What the hell are you doing here?
What do you mean, what am I doing here? You sent for me.
I did.
Of course you did. You telephoned me. You... his own whiskey for.
Stay with us, Sergeant. Bravo 60 control, over.
60, okay?
Get on a codicil. Tell me we got an emergency, over. Bravo 60, Foxtrot 5, over.
Foxtrot 5, over.
Find yourself a boat and get after Galbraith, over.
Yes, sir. Foxtrot 5 out.
It had been a dreadful rehearsal. The cast had been arguing about silly little things the whole evening. And just as I was about to leave with Freddie Galbraith, the stage manager produced a bottle of scotch. Which meant by the time I did leave, I was well on the way to being tight.
Go on, Miss Royce.
I was in a terrible mood that evening. No one could tell me anything. And although Freddie did try to persuade me not to, I insisted on driving. We got as far as Beacon Avenue, and it started to rain. As I turned the corner, a girl ran out into the road. I jammed on the brakes. The car skidded, and the girl was killed.
Go on.
I was in a terrible state. I didn't know what to do. Eventually, Freddie convinced me that, as no one had witnessed the accident, the only thing to do was to drive on. He said that if I once got involved with the police, I'd be in very serious trouble indeed. He reminded me, not that I needed reminding, that I'd been drinking heavily. The rest you can guess.
He's been blackmailing you ever since?
Yes. And I've literally been working for him for the past few weeks. I've told you the truth. I only hope you believe me.
Oh, yes. I believe you, Miss Royce.
As I understand it, Galbraith murdered Rita Black because he discovered she was planning to set him up.
That's right.
She knew he was a blackmailer and she intended turning the tables on him. But why did he kill Geraldine Newton?
Can't you guess?
He was afraid she would provide Scott Douglas with an alibi.
Exactly. And that's the last thing that Freddie wanted.
When did you first suspect Galbraith, sir?
Difficult to say. He was just a little bit too helpful, a little bit too forthcoming, you know? So when he told me about the poison pen letters, I decided to send him one. I didn't call him a murderer. I called him a filthy blackmailer. And accused him of blackmailing Becky Royce and Scott Douglas.
But he never told you about that letter?
No, and that's where he made his mistake. He should have done. It was just a little bit too near the truth for him to risk it.
Superintendent, are you really going to retire, sir, and take it easy?
Take it easy? No. I'm going to write books. Children's books.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Mason. Oh.
That's what I mean, sir.
Oh, well, if that's what you mean, then the answer is yes. Definitely yes.